All right, Chris, big year for you. Deshaun Jackson gone, Adam Humphries gone. Everybody's saying draft Chris Godwin on the ESPN Fantasy Show. I mean, this is a big season for you. Do you feel all the attention that you're getting more than last year, maybe?
I definitely recognize it. Obviously, you kind of can't avoid it. It's like all over social media, and then fans love to talk about fantasy football and stuff like that. But I think I do a good job of just focusing on the task at hand, which is trying to do my job. You know, all that would be for nothing if we don't go out there and I don't perform.
You know, I think that's an interesting aspect of professional football. Some guys love living on social media, some guys don't. Yeah. You prefer not to. Yeah. Why?
I mean, that's never really been my personality. I think anytime I post on social media, it's kind of like pulling teeth, and people kind of have to get me to do it. I just kind of like living in the moment, just like living with the people that are around me and kind of sharing those moments with them. I think the most I use social media is for my news feed.
Yeah. I know you do some work with the Humane Society, so I saw that on your social media. Dogs are near and dear to your heart?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Me and my girlfriend, we recently adopted a pit from the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, I think a couple months ago. And starting a foundation that's going to be surrounded by, helping shelter animals as well.
Nice.
Like helping spread awareness of shelter dogs and trying to get them adopted, kind of advocacy for that.
Well, you're quite the dog on the football field. Now, when you get a contested catch, that seems to be where you really, really shine. Is that something that you like to get in that situation where it's just one-on-one with you or with another guy, maybe two-on-one, and you're going to come down with that ball?
I mean, ideally, I'd be wide open.
Right.
But just whenever I'm in a situation like that, I pride myself in being able to go up and make those plays. Just kind of like having a bigger frame. I like to go up and try to be physical with guys and make a contested catch.
All right, let's get back to talking about this team. And where have you seen Jameis grow in this offense under Bruce Arians, and maybe just this coaching staff with Jameis?
I think the biggest thing is just been kind of his decision making. Obviously, Jameis has always had a live arm. He's always had these leadership, qualities. And I think his decision making this year has been really good. And that's kind of like an area where a lot of us can grow as well. I think if we're making decisions faster, making the right decisions faster, I think we're where we're headed as a team. And those are kind of things that the coaching staff is preaching. Make sure we're all on the same page and doing the right things, because that's how we're going to win games.
Now, obviously, having a coach like Bruce Arians and his coaching staff and Todd Bowles, guys that have been there and done it, they've had success in this league. Is that different for a player to have, and not to disparage the last coaching staff, but this is a two-time coach of the year. Does that make a difference to you guys in terms of how you feel about your coach?
I don't know if it necessarily changes how we feel about the coach. I just think you recognize where coaches have been, the types of things that they've accomplished, and they have a little bit more merit behind them. But I think if a coach kind of comes into the locker room and commands the locker room and lets everybody know where we stand and the direction that we're trying to head, and if everybody buys in, I think that's when you have a really successful year.
Yeah, we talk about culture change all the time, and it's been a losing environment around here. There's no doubt about that. Do you sense that changing?
Yeah. I think we can really sense that. I think there's an emphasis on winning, and it's not just the coaches, it's the players. I think we're all trying to change that, from the players up. The coaching staff, they can only do so much. They can, call the best plays in the world, but if we don't go out there, if we don't execute, if we don't put in the work to make sure that we're ready to go, it'll be all for nothing.